Have you ever wondered if God is really listening? If He truly sees you, in your quiet pain, your private battles, your unspoken hopes? This isn't just another video. This is a moment designed for your soul. So pause, breathe, lean in, because in the next few minutes, it won't be a voice you hear, it'll be a whisper from heaven. This is not coincidence. This is your invitation, and it begins now.
My beloved child, pause now, right where you are, and open your heart to this moment. This is not just another ordinary day. It is a turning point, a divine intersection where your soul meets my voice. You may have stumbled upon these words by chance, or perhaps your heart whispered a quiet prayer only I heard. But make no mistake, I have been waiting for you. And now, as you hear me speak, something sacred begins. It starts within you, a miracle so profound that even heaven leans in to witness. I'm reaching out not to a crowd, but to you. Yes, you, because you matter to me more than you can imagine. I have seen your weariness, the quiet tears that no one noticed, the burdens you've carried in silence, the moments you smiled while your soul trembled inside. I've watched you hold your breath in situations that threatened to break you, and I've counted every time you chose kindness over anger when it would have been easier to give up. You think I haven't noticed? I've seen it all. Every small act of love, every unseen sacrifice, every time you chose faith when fear pressed in. That is why I've come to speak to you, not to remind you of your faults, but to remind you of your strength, of the light I placed within you when I formed you in the secret places of the earth. You were never meant to walk alone. I am not a distant God, hovering far above the noise of your life. I am near. I am whispering now, not in thunder, but in this quiet moment of your soul leaning in. I'm speaking to the depths of your being, to that place where you've hidden your truest fears and deepest longings. I know what you've endured. I understand the sleepless nights, the feelings of inadequacy, the voices that told you you weren't enough. I was there when the betrayal happened. I was there when you sat in your room hoping someone, anyone, would reach out. And I'm here now, not just to comfort you, but to awaken you to the truth. I have never left your side. Do you remember the moments when everything felt too heavy? When you couldn't even form the words for prayer, but you simply sighed or cried in the silence? That was your spirit calling to me, and I heard you. I always do. Even your silence speaks volumes in my presence. There is no part of you I don't understand, no emotion I can't hold, no wound too deep for me to heal. You are not broken beyond repair. In fact, you are more whole than you've ever been because you're beginning to see me not as an idea, but as your father, your refuge, your closest companion. This is a sacred beginning. I want to restore the joy you've forgotten, the peace you thought you lost, and the hope you tucked away in the corners of your soul. I want to bring you back to yourself, not the self shaped by criticism, failure, or comparison, but the one I created, radiant, brave, compassionate, and uniquely equipped for a purpose only you can fulfill. That purpose is not buried somewhere far from reach. It's already within you, waiting to be stirred, to be spoken to life by my spirit. You are not late. You have not missed your moment. Your story is still unfolding, and I, the author, am writing chapters of restoration, beauty, and power beyond your expectations. I have chosen you to be a light in your home, in your relationships, in every environment you step into. Through your words, through your kindness, through your very presence, I will bring healing. Do not underestimate the power of your gaze, your smile, your listening ear. The world needs what you carry. Your family needs what I've placed in you. There are people close to you, those you love dearly, who need to be reminded that they are not forgotten, not forsaken. I will use you to carry my love to them. But first, let me fill you again. Let me breathe peace into you so deeply that anxiety has no place to stay. Let me touch your mind and quiet the overthinking, the worry, the relentless fear. Right now, even as you read this, my spirit is descending gently upon you, wrapping around your shoulders like a warm embrace. I know you're tired. I know you've been strong for so long, but strength does not mean you never need rest. Come to me. Collapse in my presence if you must. Cry if you need to. I will not reject you. I will not scold you. My arms are open. My heart is full of compassion. I do not compare you to anyone else. I celebrate you, your journey, your progress, your courage. Even when you've fallen, I've admired how you've risen, how you've kept going when everything told you to quit. That tenacity is a divine gift. And now I want to lift you even higher. You wonder sometimes if things will ever truly change. I say yes. Yes, they will. Not because you've earned it, but because I love you. Because my love is powerful enough to rewrite your future. Because I've seen the sincerity of your heart and I'm responding. Not with a whisper, but with a wave of blessing that will touch every area of your life. It may not look how you expected. It may come quietly at first, but you'll know it's me. You'll feel the shift. You'll recognize the peace that surpasses understanding, the joy that bubbles up without explanation. You'll see doors open. You'll notice how your words begin to carry weight, how your prayers begin to stir miracles, how even your presence begins to calm storms. This isn't about religion. This is about relationship, about me and you walking together daily. You've been asking for confirmation, for a sign that you're not alone. This is it. I am with you. I have always been, and I'm not finished with your story. In fact, I'm just getting started. Stay close. Listen deeply, and prepare, because what I'm doing next in your life will leave you breathless, with joy, with awe, with the overwhelming certainty that you are deeply, endlessly loved. My dear child, as you linger in this moment with me, I want you to breathe deeply, not just with your lungs, but with your spirit. Let go of the tension wrapped around your thoughts. You've been carrying so much: questions, fears, responsibilities, silent disappointments you haven't voiced. You've wondered why certain things happened, why some prayers seem unanswered, why the people you trusted pulled away when you needed them most. You've looked around and thought, why am I still in this place? Why does the breakthrough seem delayed? But I tell you now, what looks like delay is not denial. What feels like silence is often preparation. And what appears as emptiness may actually be the clearing I needed to pour out something far greater than you imagined. I have not been idle. I've been working behind the scenes, untangling knots you didn't even know existed, aligning moments, people, and opportunities that will arrive at just the right time. I do not operate on the timelines of the world. My ways are higher. My timing is perfect. And I know the weight of waiting has tested your faith. But even in the waiting, I was there. Especially in the waiting, because it's there that your heart softens. It's there that your trust is forged. It's in those quiet, lonely seasons where you learn that I'm not just the God of miracles. I'm the God of Mondays, of midnights, of moments when no one else claps for you, when no one sends you encouragement, but you keep choosing me anyway. That kind of love moves my heart. That kind of faith carries power. You've been wondering if your quiet loyalty matters. It does. It absolutely does. Heaven keeps record of every whispered prayer, every small act of love, every time you resisted the urge to retaliate, to lash out, to run away. You stood. You stayed. You forgave. You believed. And I have seen every moment. Now I want you to know this. Your life is not ordinary. There is nothing average about you. The gifts I have placed within you are not common. They are specific, intentional, and powerful. And though others may have overlooked you, passed you by, even dismissed your value, I never did. I see the treasure buried deep within you. I see the wisdom forming through your pain, the clarity birthed through your confusion, the strength emerging from your struggle. And I tell you now, the time is coming when what was hidden will be revealed, when what was silent will become your song, when what you endured will become someone else's testimony of hope. So do not despise your journey. Every detour held a lesson. Every disappointment shaped your character. Every door that closed simply redirected you toward a greater opening. I have been molding your spirit, not just for a blessing, but for a calling. What I'm doing in your life is not just for you. It's for those I'm about to send your way. You will be a safe place for the broken, a light for the lost, a voice of wisdom in the noise. And you'll speak not from theory, but from experience, from scars that have healed, from nights that taught you how to listen, from days that revealed what truly matters. Let me tell you this too. You don't have to strive to prove yourself anymore. You don't have to earn love, approval, or validation. You don't need to beg for attention or explain your worth to those who can't see it. My child, when I look at you, I see enough. I see someone fully known, fully seen, fully loved. There's nothing about you that surprises me. I knew the path you'd walk. I knew every failure and every triumph before your first breath. And still, I chose you. Still, I call you mine. You are not disqualified by your mistakes. Grace covers you. Mercy follows you. Love leads you. I'm not interested in perfection. I'm interested in your heart. So bring me the pieces. Bring me the doubts, the questions, even the anger. I can handle it all. I'm not a God who demands performance. I'm a father who desires connection. I long to walk with you in honesty, in depth, in love that doesn't flinch at your pain. I want your whole heart, not your perfect mask. And as we walk together, you'll begin to notice the transformation. Not always loud or sudden, but steady, real, and lasting. You'll wake up with more peace. You'll find it easier to forgive. You'll start hearing my voice in the stillness, in the wind, in the space between your thoughts. I will meet you in the quiet and remind you who you are when the world tries to label you something else. I'll remind you of your strength when you feel weakest. I'll bring you joy that can't be shaken by circumstance. I know what you're facing. I know the deadlines, the tensions, the relationships that feel fragile. I see the financial pressure, the responsibilities, the weight you carry on your shoulders. And I say to you, you are not alone in this. I am your provider. I am your counselor. I am your strength when you have none left. Call on me in your frustration. Call on me in your fear. Even if the only words you can find are, "Help me," I will answer. I will come close, and I will carry you through. You were never meant to carry everything by yourself. The world may have taught you to be strong by shutting down your emotions, by hiding your vulnerability. But I say to you, true strength is found in surrender, in knowing who holds your future, in lifting up your eyes and knowing you are not abandoned, not forgotten, not left behind. I am here. I am with you. I am in this moment, inviting you to rest in me, to walk in peace, to trust that even now, I am working all things for your good. You are closer than you think. The breakthrough is not far off. The peace you've been craving is not outside of you. It's within you, waiting to rise when you let my love in fully. So now open your hands, release the pressure, lay down the expectations, and let me fill you again. Not with noise, not with answers, but with presence. My presence. The only thing that has the power to change everything. I see how far you've come, even when you don't. You measure progress by achievements, by visible signs, by the applause of others. But I measure it differently. I see every silent victory, every inner battle that no one else noticed. I was there when you chose to forgive instead of hold on to resentment. I saw the moment you wiped away your own tears, stood up again, and whispered, "I'll keep going." That quiet courage, that stubborn faith, that's what moves heaven. That's what makes you strong in my eyes. You have survived things that were meant to destroy you. You've walked through seasons that others would have given up in. Yet here you are, still holding on, still seeking me, still believing there's more. And you're right, there is more. Far more than you've seen, more than you've asked for, more than you even feel worthy of. But I want you to know this. I never based your future on what you thought you deserved. I based it on what I destined you for. There are promises I've spoken over your life. Some you've forgotten, some you've buried under disappointment, but I haven't forgotten a single one. I'm still working, still unfolding, still weaving purpose through every thread of your story. Nothing you've walked through has been wasted. Not the heartbreak, not the waiting, not even the mistakes. I've used it all, and I'll continue to use it to shape something more beautiful than you could ever imagine. Don't believe the lie that your best days are behind you. That joy was only for a past season. That you've missed your window. My timing is not bound by your calendar. I resurrect things others call dead. I breathe life where the world declares barrenness. I specialize in comebacks that defy logic. And right now, I'm preparing one for you. Not for show, not to prove a point, but to fulfill my promise and awaken in you the joy of knowing what it feels like to be fully alive again. You've grown so much, and maybe you don't realize it yet, but you've changed. The way you carry compassion, the way you see others, the way you listen more carefully, respond more gently, give more freely. That's me in you. That's what happens when we walk together. I shape you not with force, but with love, with whispers, with reminders, with grace that washes over you like rain in the driest places. I want you to know that your gentleness is not weakness. Your kindness is not foolish. Your softness in a world that rewards hardness is a sign of divine strength. Do not let the world convince you otherwise. You were not meant to blend in. You were meant to be a reflection of my light, soft, warm, unwavering. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more hearts like yours. And I will protect that heart. I will shield it from those who come to harm, and I will heal it when it's been bruised. There's something else I need you to hear. You are not alone in what you're facing right now. The situation that keeps you awake at night, the burden that feels too heavy to share, the question you haven't dared ask anyone. I already know it. I already see it. And I'm already in it. You've asked me for answers. You've pleaded for clarity. But sometimes, my greatest answer isn't in the details. It's in my presence. Sometimes, I don't change the situation right away because I want to first change how you see it. And once your perspective shifts, the whole path becomes clearer. You've been looking for breakthrough in the obvious places, but I'm sending it through unexpected means. You're waiting for a door, but I'm preparing a window. You're watching the clock, but I'm working through eternity. And when it happens, when the moment arrives, you'll realize it was never about rushing. It was about readiness. I wasn't withholding. I was preparing you to carry the blessing without it crushing you. Don't be discouraged by delay. Don't mistake quiet for absence. I am in the silence too. And in this stillness, I am growing you. I am deepening your roots so that when the winds of adversity blow again, and they will, you will not be shaken. You will stand firm, because your strength won't be based on circumstance, but on relationship. And I, your God, am unchanging. Come back to this truth often. I am not angry with you. I am not disappointed in you. I'm not keeping score waiting for you to fail. I am cheering you on. I am walking beside you. And even when you mess up, I'm not turning my back. I'm reaching out to pull you back up. My love does not flinch. It does not weaken with time. It does not depend on how well you perform. It simply is, always has been, always will be. So now rest, not because everything's perfect, not because every answer has come, but because you're safe here. With me, you are allowed to rest. You are allowed to feel joy again. You are allowed to look ahead with hope. The past is not your identity. The present is not the full story. The future is still being written, and I am writing it with you. Hand in hand, moment by moment, with love as the ink and eternity as the canvas. You've wondered, in the quiet of your heart, if I truly see you, not just the version you show the world, not the image carefully presented to others, but the real you, the one who's tired of pretending, weary from holding everything together, aching for someone to simply understand. Let me assure you now, I see you entirely. I see the moments you second-guess yourself, the way you replay conversations wondering if you did something wrong. I see the guilt you carry, the weight of expectations, both spoken and unspoken, that have pressed you down. But listen closely, my child. I do not hold those burdens against you. I long to lift them. You were never meant to live beneath that weight. I didn't design you to carry shame or to run on approval from people who cannot love you the way I do. That is why I am calling you to me again, not to correct you, but to embrace you. I want to free you from the invisible chains that others cannot see but you feel every day. The lies that whisper you're not enough. The fear that says things will never change. The silence that tries to convince you I'm not listening. I always have been. You are not just heard, you are held. You've tried to fix things on your own. You've reasoned, you've planned, you've pushed forward even when your heart cried out for a pause. I admire your resilience, but now I ask you to let me take the lead. You've run long enough. It's time to rest, not in surrender to defeat, but in surrender to grace. This is not giving up. This is giving it over. Trust is not weakness. Faith is not naive. And dependence on me is not a flaw. It is your greatest strength. Let me walk with you through the places you've tried to avoid. Let's revisit those rooms you keep locked. Places of rejection, of fear, of grief you've never fully named. I do not enter to condemn. I enter to heal. My presence brings light to what has lived too long in shadow. And I will wait with you, tenderly, until you're ready. I never rush you. I never force you. I love at your pace, with infinite patience and endless compassion. You've carried pain that began long before today. Some of it you inherited, some of it was inflicted, and some of it you chose when you believed there was no other way. But I am not concerned with how the wound got there. I am here to heal it. I am the God of restoration, not just improvement, not just maintenance, full, deep, soul-level renewal. And that is what I offer you now. If you will let me in, I will rebuild what was broken. I will resurrect the dreams that seemed to die in the silence. I will awaken your joy, not just on the surface, but in the marrow of your soul. This transformation won't come by striving. It won't come through trying to prove your worth or checking spiritual boxes. It will come through intimacy, by allowing me into the ordinary corners of your day. I want to be there with you in the car, in the kitchen, in the quiet hours before the world awakes. I want to speak to you between your to-do lists. I want you to know my voice so intimately that even in the noise of life, you can still hear me whisper, I'm with you. I love you. Keep going. Let me tell you this too. There is no such thing as too late with me. You have not missed your calling. Your season has not expired. I am not limited by the hours you think you've lost or the years you wish you could rewind. I am outside of time, and I can redeem every moment. I can use what others would discard. I can turn your pain into purpose, your mess into message, your fear into fire. Do not count yourself out. I certainly haven't. I chose you with full knowledge of your flaws, your fears, your failures, and I still called you mine, not reluctantly, but joyfully, not because of what you've done or failed to do, but because of who you are, my beloved. I don't regret choosing you. I delight in you. I rejoice over you with singing. You are not a problem I'm trying to solve. You are a child I'm walking home. So don't compare your journey to others. Don't look to the right or the left, trying to measure your progress by someone else's path. You are not them. Your story is sacred. Your road is different because your calling is unique. Some walk faster, some slower, but it is not a race, it is a relationship. And every step forward you take with me is holy ground. Even the faltering ones. Even the ones taken through tears. I'm not watching your pace. I'm watching your heart. Let me affirm this, child. You are not defined by your most painful chapter. That heartbreak, that failure, that loss. It may have shaped you, but it does not name you. I do, and I call you chosen. I call you whole. I call you strong, not because you always feel strong, but because my strength is made perfect in your weakness. You are not disqualified. You are not forgotten. You are not too far gone. You are exactly where you need to be for me to begin something new. And I will. That's my promise. I will begin something new, right here, right now, a stirring in your soul, a shift in your spirit, a reawakening of everything that's been dormant. Listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. Can you feel it? That stirring? That's me. That's hope being reborn. That's grace stepping in where guilt once stood. That's love, real love, wrapping itself around every part of you. So breathe deep. The night is not over. The dawn is coming. You have not seen your best yet. Your laughter will return. Your purpose will rise. Your family will be touched. Your body will be renewed. Your faith will be strengthened. And you, my precious child, will walk this path not as one barely surviving, but as one deeply loved, divinely guided, and destined for glory. I've watched you stand in places where others expected you to fall. You didn't always feel brave, but you kept going. You didn't always have clarity, but you kept walking. That is faith, not the absence of doubt, but the choice to keep moving even when everything inside you wants to stop. I saw it. Every time you got back up, even if no one else did. And I want you to know it was not in vain. You wonder sometimes if your life has made any real impact. If your prayers, your kindness, your long nights filled with hope and heartbreak ever mattered. Let me say it as clearly as I can. Yes, they mattered. They moved mountains you didn't see. They softened hearts you didn't know were hardened. They changed atmospheres. They shifted generations. Because nothing done in love, especially the kind of love that costs you something, ever goes unnoticed in my kingdom. You've been faithful with little. You've given when it hurt. You've poured out when you felt empty. And now I am preparing to entrust you with more, not more pressure, but more purpose. Not more weight, but more wonder. The season you are entering will not look like the one you've just survived. You've sown in tears, but you will reap in joy. This is my promise to you. You are stepping into days of laughter that echo louder than your weeping. Into days of clarity that drown out confusion. Into moments where my goodness overtakes you, not because you earned it, but because you endured. I know you're tired, not just in your body, but in your soul. You've carried disappointment like a quiet ache that never fully fades. You've smiled while silently grieving the way you thought things would turn out. But today I am reaching into that ache and placing something new there, something sacred. I'm placing a promise, a whisper of restoration, a vision of what could still be, and I'm asking you to believe again, not just in me, but in you, in who I created you to be, in the beauty of your voice, the power of your presence, the anointing that rests on your life. You've silenced yourself for too long. You've held back, thinking someone else was more qualified, more spiritual, more worthy. But I'm not looking for perfect people. I'm looking for willing hearts. For those who know they can't do it alone, and yet say, "Here I am, Lord, use me anyway." You've been comparing your walk to those around you. But comparison is a thief. It robs you of joy, of peace, of purpose. I did not create you to be anyone else. I created you to be you, uniquely, divinely, unapologetically you. And what I've placed inside you cannot be replicated, cannot be replaced. There is a gift in you that the world is waiting for. It's not too late. You are not too behind. The time is now, and I am with you every step of the way. Let's be honest. Life hasn't been easy. You've had to fight for every inch of hope. You've been through storms that stripped everything away. But what remains, after everything else was shaken, is this: your heart still beats with purpose. Your soul still leans toward heaven. Your spirit still dares to believe that goodness is possible. That's a miracle in itself. That's what I can work with. Not a perfect life, but a yielded heart. There are people watching you, some silently, some openly. They don't always say it, but they draw strength from the way you keep going. They're inspired by your refusal to give up. They wonder how you keep smiling, how you keep loving, how you keep choosing kindness even when life is unkind. And they don't know that the answer isn't found in your strength, but in mine. It's my spirit within you. It's the overflow of my presence that sustains you even when you don't realize it. That's why I urge you, keep coming back to me. Not because you're weak, but because this connection, this relationship, it's your anchor. It's your source of peace in a noisy world. Your place of refuge when you feel exposed. Come as you are. Don't clean yourself up first. Don't wait until you feel more worthy. Just come. I'm not expecting performance. I'm longing for presence. I want to restore your wonder. You've grown cautious, understandably so. You've been let down. You've seen people promise things they never delivered. But I am not like them. I am faithful. I am consistent. I am true. When I say I will do something, I do it. When I speak life, life springs forth. When I promise healing, healing begins, even if it's slow. And when I promise restoration, I do not mean partial. I mean full, whole, overflowing. Do you remember what it felt like to dream freely? Before life taught you to play it safe? I remember. I still see those dreams. I still hold them in my hands, waiting for the right time to breathe life into them again. The childlike faith you once had, it's still in you. It just needs space. Let me make room in your heart again. Clear out the clutter of cynicism and let wonder return. Let joy return. Let laughter flow without guilt, without fear of what's coming next. You were born to shine, not in arrogance, but in quiet confidence. Not to impress the world, but to reflect my light in places others cannot reach. Your very presence, when filled with me, shifts the atmosphere. Your words, when aligned with my spirit, carry healing. Your touch, when guided by compassion, becomes a channel for restoration. Don't diminish who you are. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. Let me enlarge your territory, your capacity, your vision, because the world doesn't just need more noise. It needs you anchored, anointed, awake. And so, my child, take a breath. Feel the warmth of my nearness. Let it settle into your bones. You don't have to understand everything. You don't have to have all the answers. You just need to know this. I am with you. I am for you. And I am not finished. There's a reason you're still standing. Through every loss, through every heartbreak, through every night you thought might never end, you're still here. That's not coincidence. That's not luck. That's my hand. Quiet, steady, unwavering. I've been holding you in moments when you thought no one was listening, when you whispered into the darkness hoping someone, anyone, would hear. I did, and I never stopped listening. Even now, as your heart hesitates between trust and doubt, I am speaking into that space. Not demanding belief, but inviting it. Gently, steadily, like the tide returning to the shore, I am calling you home. Home to me. Home to peace. To presence. To purpose. Not the kind defined by success or measured in milestones, but the kind that makes your soul breathe again. That makes your eyes light up with hope, not fear. You see, I've never been after perfection. I've been after your heart. I've always longed for your nearness, not your performance. The world taught you to earn love, to hustle for validation. But I offer love freely. I offer rest not as a reward but as your right. Because you're my child. You were never meant to live in exhaustion, in constant striving, in proving your worth through what you do. Your worth is not in what you produce. It's in who you are. And who you are is mine. There are things you've stopped praying for. Dreams you quietly buried because disappointment came too many times. And I understand. I've held those shattered hopes in my hands. I've counted every time your faith wavered but your soul still whispered, maybe, God, just maybe. I never shamed you for doubting. I never turned away when your belief felt thin. I remained, not as a distant deity waiting for your strength to return, but as a tender father crouching low, staying close, whispering, I still believe in you, because I do, and I always will. Even when you lose faith in yourself, even when you question your identity, your value, your purpose, I never question mine. I know exactly why I made you. I know exactly what I've planted inside you. You are not empty. You are not lacking. You are not unqualified. You are equipped with heaven's power, chosen for a reason, appointed for such a time as this. I know you don't always feel it. The weight of life sometimes crushes what you know to be true, and that's okay. I never asked you to carry everything alone. In fact, I pleaded with you, cast your burdens on me. And when you do, even now, I don't just take them. I exchange them, your heaviness for my peace, your fear for my courage, your confusion for my wisdom. Come to me not just in the breaking, but in the mundane. In the early mornings when your thoughts race. In the evenings when your heart aches. I am there, always. Do you know what makes this moment holy? It's not the silence or the stillness. It's the fact that you're here. That your spirit, despite everything, still reaches for me. That you've paused long enough to hear my voice again. That my beloved is sacred, and I cherish it. I cherish you. Let me speak something new into you now. Not just comfort, but commissioning. Not only healing, but igniting. Because there is more in you than survival. You were not made to merely endure, you were created to impact. The strength you've built in secret, the wisdom formed in the fire, the patience carved out by pain. It's not random. It's preparation. I am preparing to send you into spaces where your presence will shift atmospheres, where your story will unlock healing in others, where your obedience will open doors not just for yourself, but for those who come behind you. You've wondered if your voice matters. It does, not just because of how loud it is, but because of the truth it carries. You've wondered if your kindness makes a difference. It does. Every act of love, every refusal to harden, every time you chose mercy over retaliation, that mattered. I've seen it all, and I've stored it like treasure, because that's what you are, a treasure. Not hidden, not forgotten, but watched over, guarded, cherished. I want you to know something deeper now. I'm not just for your survival. I'm for your flourishing. I'm not just patching you up so you can keep moving. I'm renewing you from the inside out. Your mind, your heart, your perspective. What once drained you will no longer have access to your energy. What once defined you will no longer hold authority over your joy. I am reclaiming territory in your soul, not through force but through love. My love reclaims everything the enemy tried to steal, and in its place, I plant peace, joy, vision, clarity, strength. I am your source, not just in crisis, but in every moment. When you feel the pull to worry, run to me. When the news brings fear, remember me. When comparison creeps in, rest in me. I am constant. I do not waver. And my plans for you are not fragile. They are firm, fixed, and full of glory. So don't be surprised if your heart starts to burn again. If ideas begin to flow, if passions reawaken, that's not random. That's me breathed into you. You were made to live alive, not just existing, not just making it through, but shining, loving, creating, worshiping, blessing. That's who you are in me. That's the life I died to give you. I did not rise from the grave just to give you comfort. I rose to give you power, resurrection power, the kind that speaks life into dead places, the kind that breaks generational chains, the kind that rewrites family stories. And that power lives in you, not later, not once you get it all together. Now, today, right where you are with all your questions, all your imperfections, all your messy prayers. You are chosen. You are anointed. You are enough. And you are mine. You've spent so long trying to figure everything out, mapping the path, calculating the risks, preparing for what could go wrong. And I understand why. The world has taught you to anticipate disaster, to expect disappointment, to hold back hope just enough so it won't hurt as much if things fall apart. But I am not the world. I am your God. I do not work in chaos. I do not lead with fear. And I am not asking you to have it all figured out. I'm asking you to trust that I do. You don't need a 10-step plan when you have me. You don't need to know how everything will unfold. Just that you will not walk it alone. I will lead you, not with pressure, but with peace. I will guide you with the kind of clarity that doesn't always make sense to others but will sit right in your spirit. You will know it's me, not because the path is easy, but because it brings peace even in the unknown. And that peace, it's not fragile. It's not something you have to protect from the noise around you. It is born from within, from my spirit dwelling in you. That means no matter what swirls around you, it cannot steal what I've placed inside you. Not unless you give it permission. So don't hand over your peace. Don't let anxiety rob you of what's already yours. I purchased it with my blood. I sealed it with my resurrection. And I offer it to you not as a concept, but as a daily reality. You've wondered what it would feel like to be truly free. Not just free from external burdens, but from the invisible chains within fear, shame, striving, regret. That freedom is not far off. It's not an unreachable ideal. It's here, now. It begins the moment you stop agreeing with the lie that you are too far gone, too flawed, too behind. The truth is this. I see every part of you and still call you worthy. Still call you mine. There's power in that. In being fully seen, fully known, and still fully loved. That's what transforms you. Not guilt, not pressure, not religion. Love, my love. And when you truly receive it, not just understand it in theory, but actually let it in, you'll start to change without even trying. You'll stop running. You'll stop hiding. You'll stop trying to earn what I already gave freely. And you'll begin to live from a place of rest, of courage, of boldness rooted in grace. This world is desperate for authenticity, not perfection, not polished words or filtered feelings, but real people carrying real hope. And that's what I'm making of you, a carrier of hope, not because you've never been broken, but because you've let me make beauty from your brokenness, because you've said yes to healing even when it hurt, because you've allowed your wounds to become windows for my glory to shine through. Don't underestimate what I can do through a life fully surrendered. It doesn't mean you'll always have it together. It doesn't mean you won't fall, but it means every fall will be met with mercy. Every detour will be redirected with grace, and every day will be infused with purpose, even when you don't see it yet. You'll start to notice how I show up in the details, in the timing, in the conversations you didn't expect, in the way your words start to carry weight you didn't know was there. That's me. That's my spirit working in you, whispering when the world shouts, soothing when anxiety spikes, empowering when you feel too small. I didn't choose you because you were loud or flawless or charismatic. I chose you because your heart is tender toward me, and that tenderness, it is your strength. In a world that glorifies hardness, cynicism, and control, your softness is a sanctuary. Don't lose it. Guard it. Let me use it. I'm not done molding you. I'm not finished forming the kind of character that can carry the destiny I've placed on your life. You asked me for more. You cried out for deeper meaning, for something real, and I'm answering not with a spotlight, but with sanctification. Not with platform, but with presence. I'm doing the deep work in you first, because I love you too much to send you out before you're ready to stand, to shine, to serve without losing your soul in the process. Yes, I'm calling you higher, not in a way that burdens you, but in a way that frees you. I'm calling you to stop dimming your light to make others feel more comfortable. I'm calling you to stop editing your story to make it more palatable. Your truth, your journey, is someone else's roadmap to redemption. Don't hide it. Share it. Speak it with humility and boldness. Your voice matters, not because it's the loudest, but because it carries me. You were never meant to live invisible. You were meant to reflect my glory in a way only you can. Not as a copy, not as an echo, but as an original. My masterpiece. That's not arrogance, that's alignment. That's you walking in the truth of who I say you are, not who the world tried to convince you to be. And when you walk like that, eyes up, heart open, everything changes. Not all at once, but moment by moment, day by day, glory to glory. So rise, child. Rise not in striving, but in surrender. Rise not to prove your worth, but because you've discovered it. Rise not with fear of failing, but with faith in my hand holding yours. The old is gone, the new has come, and you are standing in the in-between. But you won't stay here. I am leading you forward, into fullness, into freedom, into the life you were always meant to live. Not just for your sake, but for everyone your life will touch. You've asked me, why me? You've looked at your past, your imperfections, your shortcomings, and you've questioned why I would choose someone like you. But let me ask you this. If not you, then who? Who better to carry my glory than someone who's tasted my mercy? Who better to speak hope than someone who's been through the valley and still believes? Who better to shine than one who knows what it feels like to walk through the shadows? I didn't choose you because you were the strongest or the loudest. I chose you because you let me in. And that's all I need. An open heart, a yielded spirit, a yes even when it's trembling. You see, what disqualifies you in the eyes of the world is often what qualifies you in mine. Your cracks make space for my light to shine through. Your scars become signs of survival. Your story, messy as it may be, becomes a message of my redemption. I'm not interested in perfect vessels. I'm interested in willing ones. You don't have to clean yourself up before you come to me. Come messy, come uncertain, come weary, and watch what I can do with a surrendered soul. I take the humble and lift them up. I take the overlooked and crown them with purpose. I take what the world calls broken and call it beautiful. This is what I do. and this is what I'm doing in you. But now, my child, it's time to rise. Not just for your healing, but for your calling. I've been restoring you not so you could sit safely behind the scenes, but so you could walk boldly into your assignment. You were made to carry something, my spirit, my truth, my love, not as a burden but as a beacon. There are people in your path who need what you carry, people whose hope depends on your obedience. You may not feel ready, but readiness isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to move when I speak. So move with me, even if it's a small step, even if it feels insignificant, because I take small things and multiply them. I take loaves and fish and feed thousands. I take mustard seed faith and move mountains. And I can take what little you think you have and use it to shake nations, starting with the ones closest to your heart, your family, your friends, your community, your generation. This isn't about fame. It's about faithfulness. I'm not asking you to build a platform. I'm asking you to build an altar, a place in your life where I am welcomed, honored, and given full access. From that place, everything changes. You'll speak with more power, not because you're eloquent, but because you're anointed. You'll walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere, not because of your charisma, but because of your closeness to me. You'll face resistance and not be shaken, because you'll know who sent you and why. And yes, there will be resistance. The enemy doesn't fight what isn't threatening him. But I've given you authority. I've armed you with peace that can't be stolen and joy that can't be shaken. You don't have to be afraid of warfare when you know the victory is already yours. Stand firm, speak truth, love deeply, forgive quickly, and don't let bitterness settle in places where I've called you to sow blessing. You are a peacemaker, a bridge builder, a light bearer, not because you always feel like it, but because my spirit empowers you to live above what the world expects. That doesn't mean life will be easy, but it does mean you'll never face anything alone. You'll never step into a battle without my presence going before you, and you'll never pour out without being filled again. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is your time, not tomorrow, not someday. Now, don't wait for another sign. This moment is your invitation, not to run ahead in fear, but to walk with me in faith, step by step, day by day. And as you walk, watch how I move. Watch how I open doors no man can shut. Watch how I bring the right voices, the right provision, the right confirmation. You won't have to force it. You won't have to prove anything. Just trust and follow. Remember this, you don't need the world's permission to do what I've already commissioned. You don't need to wait until everyone understands. Obedience often looks like foolishness before it looks like fruitfulness. But if you keep walking, if you keep trusting, you will see the harvest. You will see the impact. You will see how I use you to reach places and people that your natural gifts never could, because it was never about talent. It was about my presence. And even as I send you, I'm not sending you away from me. I'm sending you with me. You'll never walk alone. I will go before you, behind you, beside you. I will be your voice when you don't know what to say. I will be your strength when the weight feels too much. And I will be your rest when the road feels long. So breathe, beloved. You are not stepping into the unknown. You are stepping into your design, your destiny, and every part of it has been wrapped in my love, secured by my promises, and prepared with your name on it. I've watched you grow not just in knowledge but in faith. Quietly, consistently, you've begun to see me not just as a rescuer, but as a companion. You no longer cry out only in crisis, but you come to me in the quiet too. That shift is sacred. That is maturity. That is love rooted, not reactive. Not built on emotion alone, but on revelation. You are beginning to understand that I am not only the God who parts the sea. I am the God who walks beside you when the waters don't part, when the storm rages, when the answer delays. And still, you stay close. This is what deep faith looks like. Not loud, not flashy. It's found in the stillness, in the steady, unseen obedience, in the moments when you say yes without fanfare, when you choose me over convenience, when you remain faithful even when no one is watching. You may not always feel strong, but you are, because you've chosen to root yourself in me, Not in outcomes, not in feelings, not in approval, but in me alone. That is a faith hell cannot shake. And that's why the battles have intensified. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're growing stronger. You've become a threat to darkness. You've begun to recognize lies faster. You've stopped entertaining shame. You've started speaking life instead of fear. And the enemy trembles when a believer stops running and starts standing. When they stop doubting who they are and start walking in the authority I gave them. Let me remind you, you are not at the mercy of your circumstances. You are seated in heavenly places. You are not powerless. You are not stuck. You are not at the whim of people's opinions or the chaos of the world. I've given you access to something higher, deeper, stronger. My spirit lives in you. My word is alive in you. And when you stand on truth, you shift the ground beneath you. This is not the time to shrink back. This is not the season to dim your light. You've been hidden long enough. Not because I was punishing you, but because I was protecting you. I needed you to grow deep before you grew wide. I needed your character to catch up to your calling. I needed your roots to be strong enough to sustain the weight of the fruit that's coming. And now the roots are ready. The soil has been tilled. And I'm about to bring forth something that lasts. But be clear, this next season is not about comfort. It's about calling. Not about convenience, but conviction. I'm not raising you to blend in. I'm calling you to stand out. Not for attention, but for alignment. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs clarity. It needs truth. It needs love that doesn't flinch. And that is what I've planted in you. A love that sees past offense. A truth that speaks even when your voice shakes. A fire that doesn't fade when pressure rises. You may feel unqualified, but I don't call the qualified, I qualify the called. And I'm equipping you even now. Not just with gifts, but with wisdom. Not just with words, but with discernment. You'll know when to speak and when to stay silent. You'll recognize what's real and what's simply a distraction. You'll carry my peace into rooms filled with unrest, and people won't even know why they feel different. But it'll be because you walked in carrying my presence. And no, it won't always be easy. There will be days when you'll question yourself. Moments when weariness creeps in. But in those times, I will remind you who you are. I will speak identity louder than insecurity. I will place people in your life who will pray you through the nights when your own words fail. You will not carry this alone. I will surround you with those who sharpen your spirit, not just stroke your ego. This is also the season of pruning. I know that word sounds painful, but trust me, it's purposeful. I am removing what no longer serves the destiny I've placed within you. Relationships that drain, habits that distract, thought patterns that deceive. They cannot come with you where we're going. I'm not punishing you. I'm positioning you. Every cut is a preparation for greater growth. And the fruit that comes after pruning, it multiplies. It lasts. It nourishes not just you, but others. You've asked me to use you. You've prayed to make a difference. And I've heard you. But to carry influence that doesn't collapse under pressure, you must be anchored. You must know who you are in me so deeply that no criticism can shake you. No praise can inflate you. And no loss can derail you. That is who I'm building in you. Not a fragile believer, but a fierce one. Not a reactive heart, but a responsive one. Rooted, resilient, radiant. And while others may chase quick results, you will choose faithfulness. While others measure success by numbers and likes, you will measure it by obedience. While others seek fame, you will seek my face. And because of that, I will trust you with more. Not just more influence, but more of my heart. Because you've shown me that you value my presence more than any platform. So keep showing up. Keep walking in integrity. Keep choosing the narrow path. I see it all. I honor it all. And I will reward what was done in secret. Not just in eternity, but even now. In ways that catch you by surprise. In joy that cannot be explained. In peace that makes no sense to the world. In open doors you didn't knock on. In favor you didn't chase. In fruit that grows even while you sleep. This is what it means to live mature faith. Not chasing me for what I can do, but loving me for who I am. And when you live like that, miracles follow naturally. Not because you seek them, but because you walk with the one who performs them. I'm not just sending you into the world. I'm going with you, and together we will change it. You've heard it said, walk by faith. But what does that mean when life feels unstable? When the next step is hidden in fog? It means trusting that I am not just beside you, I'm within you. It means knowing that every breath you take is not just yours. It's shared with my spirit. You are not a stranger to my presence anymore. You are a carrier of it, a vessel of divine authority. And where you walk, heaven touches earth, not because of who you are, but because of who is in you. This is the season of awakening. You've believed. You've endured. Now I'm calling you to operate not from survival, but from sonship. Not as one begging for scraps, but as one seated at my table. Your access is not limited. Your inheritance is not delayed. It's already yours. You just have to start living like it. You don't need to wait for someone else's permission to rise. I've already authorized you. You've been trained in hiddenness. You've been refined in the fire. You've been softened by suffering and strengthened by surrender. And now, I'm inviting you to step into the fullness of who I created you to be, not someday, but today. This isn't about arrogance. It's about alignment. It's about no longer apologizing for carrying my power, no longer shrinking in rooms where I've called you to shine. The enemy would love for you to stay silent, to doubt your discernment, to second-guess the nudge of my spirit. But deep down, you know my voice. You've learned its rhythm. You've followed it through storms, through seasons of loss, through whispers in the wilderness. And now I want you to stop asking, was that really God? And start moving like you know it was. Because you do. My spirit isn't reserved for special moments. He's not just a comfort in crisis. He is a constant companion, a teacher, a guide, a fire within. Listen closely. He wants to speak through you, heal through you, encourage through you, warn through you, love through you. But for that to happen, you must yield, fully, completely, joyfully. No more compartmentalizing your life. This is your spiritual side. That is your daily life. I want all of it. Your emails, your conversations, your errands, your laughter, your work, your rest. There is no divide in my kingdom. All ground becomes holy when you let me walk on it with you. Every moment becomes ministry when you live aware of my presence. And that presence, it's not fragile. It's not elusive. It doesn't vanish when you get tired or when your thoughts wander. I'm not just in the moments you feel spiritual. I'm in the mundane, in the chaos, in the quiet ache of your soul. I don't require perfection to stay close. I require honesty. Invite me in, again and again and again. I will never grow tired of being near you. This is what I want you to know more than anything. You were created to abide, not to visit, not to perform, but to remain in me. That's where your power flows. That's where your clarity sharpens. That's where your discernment deepens. You've been asking for more of me, more revelation, more authority. And I've been waiting for you to stay, not just believe but dwell, because it's in the dwelling that transformation takes root. It's in that continual communion where fear dissolves, where peace becomes natural, where boldness rises, not the kind the world applauds, but the kind that heaven releases. And it's that kind of boldness I'm stirring in you now. The kind that speaks when it's inconvenient. The kind that stays quiet when ego wants to shout. The kind that lays hands in faith. That prays with fire. That loves without agenda. You're not just called to survive your life. You're called to shift atmospheres, to uproot darkness, to disarm confusion, and to carry the fragrance of heaven into every space you enter. That is not reserved for special people. That is your inheritance, not earned, given. Because of Jesus, because of what he finished, because of who you are in him. So wake up to who you've become. Not the old version of you, the healed one, the refined one, the anointed one. You've been walking with a limp, not realizing that your limp is proof of survival, that your scars are sacred, that your pain has produced oil. And that oil, it is costly and it is powerful. Don't hide it. Pour it. Wherever you go. It's time to stop waiting for the right time. This is the time. This is the moment where you switch from waiting to walking, from praying to proclaiming, from dreaming to doing. And as you go, miracles will follow. Not because you chase them, but because they chase the ones who walk in obedience. But don't forget, all of this is rooted in intimacy. Power without presence is empty. Gifts without love are noise. So keep coming back to me. Let me hold your heart even as I send you out. Let me wash your feet even as I equip your hands. Let me quiet your spirit even as I release your voice. And when doubt returns, and it will, remember this, you were made for this. You were formed for this moment. I will not let you fail. I will not let you fall alone. I am with you. I am in you. And I am not going anywhere. You've been raised for more than survival. You've been resurrected with me. Not just out of death, but into life. Full life. Overflowing life. The kind of life that transforms everything it touches. You are no longer who you were. That version of you, the one shaped by fear, defined by failure, bound by shame, it died when I rose. What now lives in you is not just your will to try harder. What lives in you is my spirit, my power, my purpose, and it's time to live like it. The cross didn't just cover your past. It launched your future. I didn't rise so you could return to ordinary. I rose so you could rise too, so you could walk as one who knows death has lost its sting, as one who no longer lives under condemnation, as one who looks at adversity and declares, "This, too, must bow to the name of Jesus." You've been through fire and it didn't consume you. You've been through darkness and it didn't define you. And now the world needs what you carry, the compassion forged in suffering, the wisdom born in silence, the peace that came through persistence. You don't have to preach with a microphone. Your life is already preaching. Your attitude in conflict, your gentleness in chaos, your refusal to hate, your resilience when the world expected you to break. That's what resurrection looks like. Not loud declarations, but quiet transformation. Not showy strength, but surrendered power. It's the ability to look the enemy in the eye and say, "I'm still here, and I still believe." It's the authority to walk into rooms where confusion reigns and bring peace just by being present. It's the awareness that you no longer live for yourself, but for something greater. For the one who conquered the grave and now lives in you. But resurrection life isn't passive. It moves. It reaches. It heals. You were brought back to life not just for freedom, but for fruitfulness. What I've placed in you is not just to be protected, but to be poured out. You've asked me to use you, and now I am. In every conversation, in every decision, in every act of courage, kindness, and compassion. I am making my love known through you. And yes, the enemy will try to remind you of your past. He'll whisper, "You're still the same," but you're not. You've been made new. You are no longer a slave to the patterns of yesterday. You have a new nature, a new name, a new path. The moment you gave me your heart, I gave you mine. And my heart does not retreat. It does not give up. It does not live in fear. And now that heart beats in you. So stop rehearsing your regrets. Stop replaying what you can't change. Start responding to the spirit that's been nudging you, calling you deeper, louder, more boldly into the life you were meant to live. You know the sound of my voice by now. It's the one that calls you upward, not inward. That draws you into freedom, not fear. That speaks identity, not insecurity. It's time to let go of the fear of man. You don't need their approval when you already have my anointing. You don't need to be liked to be effective. You don't need to be understood to be faithful. And when you begin to live for my pleasure alone, your life becomes unstoppable. Your obedience becomes contagious. And your presence becomes prophetic because people will see you and sense me. You are a walking testimony. Every breath you take is a reminder that the enemy lost, that shame failed, that trauma did not win. And because of that, you carry resurrection not as a concept, but as a reality. You are the evidence, the proof that broken things can be made whole, that dead places can live again, that dry bones can rise and dance in the presence of the Lord. I am not done with you, not even close. I am just beginning to reveal the depth of what I've planted in you. You will dream again, but this time with me at the center. You will love again, but from a healed place. You will lead again, but with humility forged through surrender. And where others see impossibility, you will see invitation. Invitation to believe, to risk, to speak, to heal. But remember, this power is not yours to control. It is mine to release through you. Stay humble. Stay hungry. Stay close. Don't trade presence for performance. Don't let applause replace intimacy. Don't let busy schedules bury the quiet moments where I still speak most clearly. I don't need your perfection. I need your proximity. Let's go further together. Let's love deeper, give freer, walk longer. Let's carry light into places people forgot existed. Into back alleys of the human soul. Into boardrooms and break rooms. Into hospitals and homes. Let's be the church not just on Sunday, but on every ordinary, sacred day in between. You are my ambassador, my temple, my resting place. You are not random. You are not overlooked. You are assigned, appointed, resurrected, and nothing can stop what I've started in you. The tomb is empty, and so is the excuse. Let's move forward, together. Faith was never meant to stay still. It was meant to walk, to reach, to risk, to respond. You were never meant to just believe in your heart. I called you to live it out with your hands. You prayed for purpose, and now I'm showing you. Your life is the answer to someone else's prayer. You asked to see change, and I'm saying be the change. Not in theory, not in waiting, but in motion, in action, in steps that move even when you're afraid. You carry me now not just in word, but in power. Not just in worship, but in witness. And every moment you choose love when the world offers hate, every time you serve when it costs you something, every yes you give to what is right and holy, it builds, creates ripple effects you may never see, but heaven records every one. Because faith without works is incomplete. You weren't saved to stay silent. You were saved to shine. That doesn't mean you need to stand on stages or lead crowds. It means you lead your life with intentionality, that your words carry grace, that your hands carry healing, that your eyes see with compassion. The greatest move of my spirit in your life may not come through a spotlight, but through your consistency. The way you show up, the way you remain when others leave, the way you forgive when bitterness would feel easier. I've placed you where you are for a reason. That neighborhood, it's your mission field. That workplace, it's your pulpit. That child you raise, that friend you encourage, that stranger you pray for. All of it is divine. All of it is sacred. Don't underestimate the power of small things. I used 5 loaves and 2 fish to feed thousands. I used a shepherd boy to take down a giant. And I'm using you now, not because you're trying to do something great, but because you're willing to do what's good. Every seed of obedience counts. Every act of love matters. You think it's just a text message, just a quiet prayer, just a helping hand, but I see beyond it. I see how it loosens chains in someone else's soul. I see how it shifts the course of their day, and sometimes their eternity. Never let the ordinary blind you to the holy. You don't need to have it all figured out to be effective. You just need to show up with your heart open and your spirit yielded. I will guide your words. I will stretch your influence. I will use your weakness to reveal my strength. This is not about doing more. It's about doing with me. It's about turning your daily routines into sacred opportunities. Let me walk with you through your calendar. Let me interrupt your plans with people I love. Let me speak through you, even in the most casual conversation. I don't need the perfect setting to move. I just need your yes. There will be moments that stretch you. You'll feel the tension between comfort and calling. But growth doesn't happen in safety. It happens when you take the risk to love again, to forgive again, to give again, even when it's costly, especially when it's costly, because that's when you reflect me most clearly, when you pour yourself out, trusting that I'll fill you again. And I will. I will never send you into a moment I haven't prepared you for. I will never call you to give what I haven't already placed within you. I will supply every word, every resource, every ounce of strength you need. I am not just the God of the beginning and the end. I'm the God of the in-between. And I'll be with you in the moment of obedience. Not just before it, not just after it. In it, you'll start to notice the shift. How peace shows up when you step out. How doors open when you move in love. How the right words come when you speak with compassion. That's me working through you. You don't need to strive to be used, you just need to remain surrendered. Let your life speak. Let your joy preach louder than your opinions. Let your gentleness silence division. Let your endurance silence doubt. And when you fall, and yes, you will, I'll be right there, not to condemn, but to lift you, to whisper, try again. Because this life of faith, this life of action, it's not about never stumbling. It's about always returning, always rising, always walking hand in hand with me. This is how revival begins, not with hype, but with hearts who show up, who care, who carry me into every space without even needing to say my name, because their presence already makes me known. That's you. That's your life. A light not hidden. A city on a hill. A living sermon that preaches love louder than any platform ever could. So today, don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait to feel ready. Just move. Love someone who can't repay you. Serve someone who didn't ask for it. Bless someone who doesn't believe they deserve it. That's my way. That's how I work. Through people like you who understand that action is love in motion and obedience is worship in real time. Let's live this out together. I'll lead. You follow. And together, we'll bring heaven closer. One act of faith. One word of kindness. One heartbeat of love at a time. You've been faithful with the little things. Quiet moments. Hidden sacrifices. Kindness no one saw. And I want you to know, it didn't go unnoticed. Not by me. Not by heaven. And not by the ones your life has quietly touched. You've planted seeds that you may never see bloom in your lifetime, but they will bloom. Because what's sown in love never stays buried. It grows, it multiplies, it lingers long after your hands are gone. You've asked, will my life matter? And I answer now, it already does. Not because of fame, not because of numbers, but because of impact, because of faithfulness. Because you said yes when it was hard, when it was costly, when it didn't come with recognition. That kind of life leaves a legacy. Not in marble statues or magazine covers, but in hearts. In people who will live freer, love deeper, believe again because of you. Your story carries weight. Not because it's polished, but because it's real. Because it's marked by grace. Because it testifies not to your strength, but to mine. I am not glorified by perfection. I am glorified by redemption. And when others hear what I've done through you, they won't say, look at them. They'll say, look at God. That's the kind of life that echoes into eternity. And now I want you to live with that perspective. Not to strive for legacy, but to love like you already have one. To understand that eternity is impacted by every decision you make today. You don't need to do something huge to matter. You just need to love with consistency. To forgive when it's easier to walk away. To show up when no one else does. To listen, to serve, to believe. That is greatness in my kingdom. I am not calling you to a loud life. I'm calling you to a lasting one. A life that remains. A life that outlives hardship, outshines criticism, outlasts trials. The kind of life that can stand storms because its roots run deep. And that's what I've been doing in you all this time. Deepening your roots. Strengthening your foundation. Not to make you famous, but to make you fruitful. Fruitfulness isn't always fast. It doesn't always feel glamorous. But it's the kind of life that multiplies without needing credit. You'll touch one person and they'll touch 10. You'll speak into one heart, and that heart will go on to shape many more. This is how revival spreads. Not just through platforms, but through people. People who live the gospel, not just preach it. People like you. Don't underestimate your influence. Not the kind measured in followers, but in faith. Not the kind that fades when the spotlight turns off, but the kind that glows in the dark, that stays when others leave, that holds the door open for the next soul walking home. This is who you are. Not just a servant, but a steward. Not just a believer, but a builder of lives, of legacy, of love that lasts. You don't need to chase significance. You carry it, because you carry me, and wherever you go, my glory follows. Not in thunder, not in fire, but in gentleness, in compassion, in peace. I'm not asking you to impress the world. I'm asking you to impact it. Not through ambition, but through availability. Not through control, but through surrender. And as you keep pouring out, I'll keep pouring in. I'll refill you with joy, with wisdom, with strength that surprises even you. I'll surround you with people who see your value, who honor your process, who call out the gold inside of you even when you forget it's there. You won't walk alone. You were never meant to. You were made to leave a mark, not one written in sand, but carved in eternity. Every person you love well, every truth you stand for, every moment you reflect me. It matters. Even if no one thanks you, even if no one sees it, I see it, and I will honor it, with peace that outlasts problems, with impact that outlives applause. So keep going, keep loving, keep showing up, even when it feels small, because small seeds, sown in faith, produce eternal fruit. You won't always see the harvest right away, but one day you'll look back and realize, I used you to change the world, not all at once, not in grand gestures, but in holy moments, in quiet rooms, in everyday love. That is legacy. That is impact. That is what it means to live a life that lasts. Come back to me, not because you've wandered far, but because I want to draw you deeper. Deeper than obligation, deeper than routine, deeper than belief without intimacy. I want your heart, not just your habits. I want your presence, not just your praise. I want you, not for what you do, but for who you are to me, beloved, chosen, mine. There is more than the surface-level peace you've settled for, more than the shallow joy that fades under pressure, more than the half-hope you've been clinging to. I didn't create you to survive at a distance from me. I created you to abide, to remain, to be one with me in a way that changes not just how you live, but why you live. You've tasted my love, but there's more. You've known my guidance, but I want you to walk in my rhythm. You've trusted my promises, but I want you to live in my presence. Not occasionally, not on Sundays, but daily, moment by moment, heartbeat by heartbeat, a life hidden in me, flowing from me, completely surrendered to me. Because in that surrender is your greatest freedom. You've tried to hold on to control, to figure it all out, to protect yourself from pain, to secure your own safety. But control is heavy, and I never asked you to carry it. What I offer is lighter, simpler, freer. Come back, lay it down. Let me carry what you were never designed to bear. The striving, the proving, the earning. It ends here. In me, you don't have to hustle for belonging. You don't have to perform for affection. You already belong. You are already loved. And my love is not fragile. It does not falter when you're weak. It wraps around you in the silence, covers you when shame speaks. It lifts you when guilt presses down. It's not dependent on your perfection. It flows endlessly from mine. So stop running. Stop hiding behind busyness, behind ministry, behind good things done with tired hands. I want your attention, not your accomplishments. I want to sit with you, to speak again in the stillness. I want to remind you who you are, not what the world says, not what past mistakes whisper, but what I've always known to be true. You are my delight, my dwelling place, my joy. Return to the simplicity of love, of just being with me, of choosing me over everything else, over pressure, over expectation, over distraction. Come to me like a child again, not to impress, but to be held, to be filled, to be reminded that I am enough, and in me you are enough too. This is not a call to more activity. It's a call to more awareness, to see me in the moments you've overlooked, in the quiet breath before the day begins, in the person next to you needing your smile, in the breeze brushing your face, in the whisper of truth when lies surround you. I am there, not far, never distant, closer than your next breath. I want your whole life, not to control it, but to complete it. The parts you celebrate, the parts you hide, the parts you think disqualify you, I want to touch all of it, to heal all of it, to make all of it holy. This isn't about religion. It's about relationship. And not just any relationship, oneness. A union so real that nothing can separate you from me. You are not too busy for this. You are not too broken. You are not too behind. Right now is the moment. Right now is the invitation. You don't need the right setting, you just need the right posture. Come with your questions. Come with your fatigue. Come even if all you have left is a whisper. I'll meet you there. I'll always meet you there. Because I never left. I've been waiting, watching, whispering, calling. Not with pressure but with patience. Not with shame but with a promise. The promise that if you draw near to me, I will draw near to you. I always do. I always will. My presence is not a reward for your performance. It is the starting place for everything that matters. So let this be the moment you return. Fully, freely, finally. No more holding back. No more half-hearted yes. No more living from empty places when I've called you to live from overflow. Let this be the moment your heart finds its home again. In me, where it has always belonged. You've come so far. Through valleys that nearly broke you. Through silence that tested your faith. Through fire that refined you. And yet, here you are, still listening, still leaning in, still believing that I am speaking. And I am. I never stopped. From your first breath to this moment, my voice has been the thread that's held you together. Not always loud, not always obvious, but always faithful, always near. And now, I want you to hear me clearly. You are mine. Not just when you feel strong. Not just when you get it right. Not just when your faith is visible. Always. In your weakness. In your wandering. In your wondering. You are mine. Bought at a price. Held in grace. Carried in mercy. Surrounded by love that cannot be shaken. You've questioned your worth. Let me settle it now. Your value is not up for debate. It's not defined by what you've done or what you failed to do. It is defined by what I did for you on the cross, in the grave, and through the resurrection. I didn't die for potential. I died for you, as you are. And I rose to give you more than survival. I rose to give you life. Abundant, anchored, eternal. And now I place my seal upon you. Not a label from the world. Not a name shaped by pain. But a truth that cannot be revoked. You are chosen. You are redeemed. You are anointed. You are filled. You are equipped. And you are sent. Not alone, but with me. Always with me. You will walk into places you never thought you'd go. Speak into lives you never thought would listen. Carry peace into rooms that haven't felt it in years. Not because you're perfect, but because you're willing. You've said yes again and again, even when it cost you. And I've seen every yes. I've honored every surrender. And now I will pour out blessing, not as payment but as partnership. Not as a reward but as a result of our oneness. Your life is not small. It is not wasted. It is not forgotten. It is woven into something eternal, something far bigger than you can see. And even when you leave this earth, what I've done through you will remain. Love remains. Truth remains. What's done in me never dies. So walk forward now, not in fear, but in fullness. Not in striving, but in spirit. I go before you. I walk beside you. I live within you. Nothing can separate you from my love. Not failure, not fear, not even your doubt. I will finish what I started. And what I started in you is beautiful, sacred, complete. Rest now in this truth. You are seen. You are known. You are loved. And you are not alone. This is not the end. This is the beginning, the start of a deeper walk, a higher calling, a greater peace. You've heard my voice. You've felt my hand. And now you carry my heart. So go, shine, speak, heal, build, bless, and always abide. Because you, my child, are forever mine.
You weren't meant to walk this life alone. You were meant to walk it with the one who created you, who loves you, who still speaks to you. Yes, even now. If these words stirred something deep within you, don't ignore it. That was him, calling you closer. Stay with him. Come back to him. Let this be more than just a video. Let it be the beginning of everything new. You were seen. You were chosen. And you are never, ever alone.